Alright, I've got some wood here. I'm going to turn into some boxes. These long pieces. I'm going to cut them up into squares. Usually takes about 5 pieces. So I should be able to get maybe 1 or 2 out of each of these long pieces. Okay, I've set up my pieces on this work table. I'm going to make 2 trays. I've cut all my pieces for all 4 sides. The bottom's going to be plywood. Probably going to put nails or screws on the end. And on the back side, probably some cabinet screws. So once I've got that all done, I'll show you the finished versions. Alright, into the project already. This was a really short one. It's really tiny. Got my 2 trays here. Both same size, same length. They stack on top of each other. Ended up using these cabinet and trim screws on the bottom and on the sides. Just a jar of random nails. So, till next time. And all this happens when I don't sweep. End of the day, it all just winds up on the floor. Got 4 pieces here. It's going to be a really simple build. Just going to go like this. Going to end up covering the bottom in pieces. You can see it's got a really rough finish to it. The other side's a little bit smoother. I'm going to leave the rough side out, make it more visually interesting. So next will be the pile of wood I will have cut for the bottom. Alright, we got all of our bottom pieces cut. Used some bed pieces from an old mattress. Still solid wood, so I figured I'd just take the frame that I made, place it right on top, and there we go. All that's left is to nail it all together and put it in inventory. And it's finished. Kept the good side for the inside. I just went along both sides, put 2 nails in the top and 2 more nails on the other side. Super easy, super simple. And that's ready to get put away. Today I've cut these pieces. I have a really old board. I have no idea how old it all is. You can tell by the aging that it's been a while. It's got a nice rough edge, both sides. Did not want to run this through the planer because it looks too interesting to run it through the planer. Takes away all of this old aged look. I'm going to set it up in the usual manner. 4 pieces. I'm going to run my bottom boards on the bottom. I'm going to figure out how I want to orient these boards so all the defects are hidden. Although could just say it adds character. Next I'll show you the bottom boards. Alright, I've cut my bottom pieces. Then run some nails along this edge, run some nails along this edge, and then she'll be done. And then we're done. We've got here 8 pieces, that's all it took. On the inside, the bottom, ended up cutting like a 4x6 into half. I ran these sides the planer so they'd come out looking a little bit smoother. On the back, I left the old grain, the old looking wood. That's all she wrote. Next one up. Got this wooden ladder here. Pulled it off the side of the road and I figured I'll probably fix this up. That's one of the things I also do over here. All these supports, they weren't secure enough. So now I can rework these 3 corners. Probably gonna end up using some of these screws. Should be a really simple repair. I don't know why they threw it out, but works for me. And it was just that simple. I put 2 screws, 1 on each end, 1 right in the middle. She's ready to be hung right back up on the wall. How about that? Free ladder. Got some flat pieces here, painted on one side. Set those over there for right now. I got these really interesting looking kind of ellipse shape going on with these pieces. I think I'm gonna cut these to a preset length and then attach them to these boards. I think it's gonna look interesting. We'll see. All of these cut, so now underneath are the big boards I showed you. I arranged them so I can cover up as much as the paint underneath. Who knows? Maybe that's exactly what this needs, a little paint to show through. So I'm going to go on the back side on each of these pieces. I just screw them in on the back side. I've got enough material for a second one. So when I'm done finishing both, that'll be the end of it. And we're done. I had enough material to make 2 of them. This is the first one I made. This next one. Second ones are usually an improvement on the first, and you can tell that because I've got less gaps in between poking through. But as far as completeness, she's about 80 to 90% done, because all I got left is maybe run some trim on this top and down the sides. Put some sort of mounting mechanism on the back, either a hook, chain on the back. Just 5 across, 5 across, 5 across. 5 and 3 are my magic numbers. They usually get the job done. Figured These make for some pretty interesting wall art. So, on to the next thing. Here are the boards cut and stacked. 4 pieces to each pile. Pieces. Now the frames are done. I put nails along the edge there. I'm going to attach these bottoms. That'll be it. And it's done. This turned out really great. Used some better stock than I normally use. Inside, end up using the painted side on the bottom because that makes more sense. So on to the next project. And we're done. I found some branches stripped of all the bark. Thought it would make an interesting project. So what I ended up doing is using a combination of screws and nails, make this interlocking pattern. Just put some plywood on the bottom. There's some gaps in between, but overall, you can't find this except for here. Alright, today I went with a pallet heavy duty box. I got these deck boards as the walls. I've used the runners as the corners. All I did was use nails. Got the bottom down here. If I did better rips, I'd close up these gaps. For the most part, from what I grabbed, matched up the thickness, tried to fill in these gaps. The entire inside is a perfect rectangle. Looks like I missed a couple nails on the inside, but otherwise I'll make a few more 100 of these, I'll get it right. Alright, I got this deck board all made up. I got some muddy areas. I don't feel like getting my boots all muddy. I got a whole bunch of pallets, so if I make decks and fill in the gaps, except I missed on that piece. This one fought me. It was an uphill battle. I had to pull off the ones that were original, and then I had to tear apart a second one. And that one had 4 stringers. I had to remember how to take apart the pallet without tools. Put nails along the edge. Time to put it in the mud. Done. Rabbits were getting inside the garden here, so I ended up building, as best as I could, some sort of fencing solution. Had some posts from a chair. I used its 4 corners. And I had to go out, get the mesh, just wrap it around the back. Of course, to get in, needed a gate. Got some stuff growing in there right now, some weeds, some radishes, some carrots. Took me a couple days, but I finally got it done.